You know, it was quiet, but it was a huge day for the stock market. And, of course, every time we're up, everyone's asking, what does it mean? Well, I think that the buyers now are really starting to rotate out of bonds and putting a lot of that cash into stocks. And for me, as far as the whole question about the Federal Reserve and what this means with respect to that, if they hike this week, if they hike this year, I don't know. To be quite frank with you, though, I'll be glad when they do hike and just get out of the way. I don't want to talk about that anymore. Joining me now, Jim Frischling, president of New Oak Capital, and Paul Dietrich, CEO of Fairfax Global. All right, guys. First of all, thoughts on today's session? Well,
I think you mentioned it was a quieter session, and I think
not a lot of volume.
Yeah, and I think to a certain extent, people are looking to that Fed decision. I think no heroes ahead of the announcement. I do think people are starting to have a view. More than half I think at one point we had 80+% of the professionals, the economists, and the academics were predicting a rate hike. I think that number has been halved by right now. So I think people are somewhat standing pat. But I'm in your camp. I'd like the Fed just to do it, get out of the way, so we can talk about earnings and companies.
Your analysis that the big rally in stocks is a sign that the Fed won't hike rates on Thursday.
Look, I'd love to tell you about retail sales. I'd love to tell you about housing and auto sales. I'd love to list all the good things going on with the U.S. economy. I think, unfortunately, there was a little bit of an uptick thinking people are convinced they're going to buy some time.
But, Paul, the opposite of that, you were the scour sort of the headlines that came out from the financial media. They were playing up this retail sales number, even though it came in below the estimates because July was revised much higher and the core number was pretty good. And they were saying, finally, we're seeing people spend that gas savings. It's a sign of consumer confidence. Retail sales haven't been down in 6 months. It's a good time for the economy. So maybe the Fed will raise rates?
No. I mean, I've been saying for 6 months on this program that we're not going to see a rate hike this year. And we're seeing a coordinated effort with the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank saying don't raise rates. These are international bureaucrats. They do not do this without coordinating.
Aren't they all bureaucrats, though? Do they really know what the hell they're doing?
Yeah, but they're coordinating. And this is going to give Janet Yellen cover for not raising rates. The only reason to raise rates, I don't care about retail sales, it's inflation is the reason you raise rates. And everything is deflationary. Oil prices are going to stay down. That's deflationary. The dropping of the currency in China, everything you buy at Costco and Walmart is going to be cheaper 3 months from now than today. That's deflationary. And the high dollar, the strong dollar, is a de facto rate anyway. There is no reason for the Federal Reserve to raise rates this week.
All right, let's talk about the market itself, because today I saw the transportation which, by the way, the transpose, if you guys remember, crashed before the ultimate big move to the downside for the broader market. Now they're beginning to soar, broke through the 50-day moving average. I really, really think that's a great sign, guys. I'm one of these old school. I like the Dow theory. Transpose led the way down. I think they could lead the way up for stocks.
I think there's nothing wrong with going old school. We've been talking on your show about the cheap gas. We've been talking about a strengthening U.S. economy. We talk about Southwest Airlines. People are flying more. I like it when rails, trucking.
Good proxies for the economy.
Good proxies for the overall economy.
And you're right. This is a leading economic indicator, and it usually leads to where the economy is moving and where earnings and revenues are moving. And I think the last quarter of this year, we're going to see good earnings growth, right, and we're already seeing the revisions on revenue, which is really important.
All right, guys, and at home, there's a stock I haven't given you in a while. The other day, I gave you Biogen on the internet. Okay, Lending Tree, the company has been absolutely killing it, but the stock had pulled back when the broad market pulled back, which is great. It held above that 50-day moving average like a charm. It bounced today like a rocket. I think it's going to go back, form a double top. 138 is your minimum target on that one. Tree, I don't like cute symbols, but this is a stock that's on fire. Thanks a lot, guys. Hey, North Korea declares today that it's revamped and restarted all of its atomic bomb fuel reproduction plants. Oh, and by the way, China building a third man-made island. Do we have a foreign policy? Well, it impacts your bottom line. We'll be right back.